We have reached the midway point into the NHL season, and there'll be a great video idea to make a list of players that I believe should be in the conversation of the NHL MVP. So it'll be top 5 players according to me. I'm going to be ranked from 1 to 5 of players that should be in the conversation of the NHL MVP award. Coming in at the number 5 position, I got the likes of Steven Stamkos, who's averaging roughly 48 points in 40 games. He's got 19 goals in total and 29 assists. He's plus 10 on the season. He's averaging roughly 1.2 points per game. He's got 34 points on the even strength, and he's averaging 11 goals in total on even strength. On the power play, he's got 8 goals and 14 points in total. He's got 3 game-winning goals, and 2 of which have come in overtime. A lot of people may be wondering, why have I included Steven Stamkos on my list when it comes to the NHL MVP award? The reason I've included Steven Stamkos is because I had to choose a player from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa Bay Lightning are one of the best teams we have in hockey, and they have the best odds to go and win the Stanley Cup. And when it comes to the records, they're the second best team right behind the Florida Panther. And I had to choose a player from the team, and had options of 3 players. I had Victor Henman, Steven Stamkos, and Andre Vasileski. All 3 of them are having a great season. But the reason I choose Steven Stamkos over the other players was that he's leading the team in points, and he's also the captain of the team. So he's leading them on ice and off ice. And if you remember last year, there's a lot of rumors surrounding Steven Stamkos about trading him. A lot of people are talking about how Steven Stamkos looks past his prime. He does not have it anymore. He had a bad season. When you look at his points total, he only had 34 points in 38 games, which is below his level. You expect Steven Stamkos to be averaging 38 points in 38 games, or even be a little bit higher. But he had an off season. He had a very bad season last year. And when it came to the playoffs, when it came to the finals, he only had 1 goal in 5 games. A lot of people talk about how if the Tampa Bay Lightning want to fix their cap issue, if they want to solve their cap issue, they have to get rid of Steven Stamkos because he's making $10 million a year. And people thought he's not living up to that contract, and they should get rid of their captain. But he was a professional. He came into the offseason. He talked about the rumors that were surrounding him. He was talking about the cap issues, and he took it like a man. He's like, I had a bad season, but I'm going to make it up. And he has come into this season. He has stepped up his game, and he's taken his game to the next level, and he's leading the Tampa Bay Lightning on and off the ice. When it comes to the points total, he's number 10 in all of NHL. And we forget to mention that Tampa Bay Lightning are missing the likes of Braden Point and Nikita Kucherov. So he's leading them. He's leading this team to the playoffs, to the best record in hockey. And he deserves to be in the conversation when it comes to the NHL MVP award. That's why he's number in the 5th when it comes to my list. Now, let's move on to the number 4 position on my list. Coming in at number 4, I got the likes of Nazim Kadri. Nazim Kadri, in 35 games, has got roughly 51 points. He's got 36 assists and 15 goals. He's plus 16 on the year. He's averaging roughly 1.46 points per game. On even strength, he's got roughly 35 points and 10 goals. And on the power play, he's got 5 goals and 16 points in total. He's got 2 game-winning goals. And the reason I have included Nazim Kadri on my list is because he's having the best season possible. When it comes to points, he's top 5 in points in all of hockey. Let me repeat that. Nazim Kadri is top 5 in points in all of hockey. Nazim Kadri. When it comes to points per game, average of 1.46. That's top 5 in hockey. And you never expect someone like Nazim Kadri being top 5 in any category except for when it comes to penalty minutes. You don't expect Nazim Kadri this level of production. He is killing it. He's having the best season he's possibly had. He's leading the Colorado Avalanche in points. I know he's not the best player on the Colorado Avalanche. He's not. It's Nathan MacKinnon and Mikko Rantanen. But when it comes to Nazim Kadri to have this great of a season when it comes to points, he deserves to be in this conversation. He's got the best wholesome story. Because before he got to Colorado Avalanche, he played for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And there's a lot of noises that were heard around Nazim Kadri, right? He would always take bad hits, dirty hits when it came to the playoffs, and he would get suspended. And Toronto Maple Leafs would go on to lose those series because they did not have Nazim Kadri on their team. He would take dumb penalties in the playoffs that would cost the Toronto Maple Leafs those big games in the playoffs, and they'd go on to lose those series. And a lot of the blame was put on Nazim Kadri. People were like, he takes dirty hits, he makes too many dumb penalties, he takes too many dumb penalties. That leads to the Toronto Maple Leafs losing. And the Toronto Maple Leafs staff, their GM, they were sick of it. They were sick of all the noises that were coming out of Nazim Kadri. They were sick of him taking dumb penalties that led to them losing. So they traded him away. They traded him to the Colorado Avalanche. And he thought he would do the same thing in Colorado. He thought he would take the same dumb penalties. He would take the same dirty hits. And he did that. In the first season, he took a dirty hit and that cost him in the playoffs. He got suspended. He was suspended for the rest of the playoffs and the Colorado Avalanche got bounced. And this season, you thought, you know what, it's the same thing. Nazim Kadri is going to put up 50 points in the regular season. And then come in the playoff time, he would take a dumb penalty and he's going to take some dirty hits and he'll get suspended for the whole playoffs. But guess what? It's not happened. He's playing smart out there. He's not taking dirty hits. He's not taking dumb penalties. And he's putting up points. He's going full and above his potential. You never expected this level of production from Nazim Kadri. If he keeps this up, he's going to get close to 100 points in a season. Nazim Kadri is going to get 100 points in a season. The only thing you think about Nazim Kadri and 100 is 100 penalty minutes. Nothing to do with points. He has exceeded our expectations. Colorado Avalanche are one of the best teams we have in hockey, and Nazim Kadri is one of the biggest reasons why. And he deserves to be in the conversation when it comes to the NHL MVP. Now we're going to be moving on to the number 3rd position on my list. Coming in at number 3rd, I got the list of Conor Mcdavid. Conor McDavid plays for the Edmonton Oilers, and in 35 games this season, he's got roughly 19 goals and 34 assists, giving him a total of 53 points. He's +3 on the season, and he's averaging roughly 1.51 points per game, which is the best in National Hockey League. When it comes to even strength, he's got roughly 34 points in total and 14 goals. And when it comes to the power play, he's got roughly 5 goals and 22 assists, and he's had 1 game-winning goal. Conor McDavid is the best player in the National Hockey League. He's the best player in hockey. But the MVP award does not go to the best player. It goes to the person who's the most influential player on their team, and their team is winning. Conor McDavid is definitely the most influential player on the Edmonton Oilers, but the Edmonton Oilers are not winning. They're currently in the 7th position in their division, and if the season was supposed to end today, they will not be in a playoff game. And I don't think an MVP should be awarded to a player because based on their talent rather than how their team has performed. The Edmonton Oilers are not performing up to their full potential. When that season started, Edmonton Oilers were on fire. I don't know what it was, but they were on fire. And Conor McDavid was playing at a god level. He was playing at Wayne Gretzky's level. And they went on a crazy run. They went 9-2. And people were going crazy. People were like, Conor McDavid is going to get average 160 points. Leon Draisaitl is going to score 80 goals. Conor McDavid is going to win the Art. He's going to win the Hart. He's going to win the Ted Lindsay Award. And the Edmonton Oilers are going to win the Stanley Cup. But after they had that massive run, when they were 9-2, they have gone on a run which has been under 500. They have not been a great hockey team. And you can blame Conor McDavid for that. And he's been in and out of the lineup. He's got COVID, he's missed games, and you've seen the Edmonton Oilers play like dog shit when he's there and play like dog shit when he's not there. The Edmonton Oilers are not a good team. Conor McDavid is the best player on the planet. He is. But you don't get the MVP awarded to you because you're the best player on the planet. If the Edmonton Oilers make it to the playoffs, then you can make an argument for Conor McDavid. But right now, he stands at the number 3rd position on my list. I think he should win the Ted Lindsay Award, which is awarded to the best player. He should win that every single year, and he should win it this year because he's the best player on the planet. But MVP, influencing the team, is the team winning? No, they're not winning. They're not in a winning position. They're out of the playoffs, and if the season ended, they will not make it to the playoffs. So for that reason, Conor McDavid is only 3rd on my list. Now we're going to be moving on to the top 2 players on my list. Coming in at the 2nd position, I got the likes of Jonathan Huberto, who plays for the Florida Panthers. And in 41 games this season, Jonathan Huberto has roughly 15 goals and 40 assists, giving him a points total of 55 points. He's +19 on the season, and he's averaging roughly 1.34 points per game. On even strength, he's got 12 goals and 36 points, and on the power play, he's got 2 goals and 17 points in total. He's got 2 game-winning goals. Why have I included Jonathan Huberto on my list? A lot of you guys might be wondering. And you might be thinking, why is he so high up? When you look at Jonathan Huberto's stats and you compare them to all the other stars we have in the National Hockey League, he's 4th when it comes to points total. And when we look at his points per game average, he's top 5 in the NHL. So Jonathan Huberto is putting up stats that are comparable and better than the other stars that we have in the National Hockey League. Now let's talk about his influence and his team success. He plays for the Florida Panthers. The Florida Panthers are the best team in the National Hockey League when it comes to record. And Jonathan Huberto is the best player on the Florida Panthers. When we look at stats, Jonathan Huberto has 20 more points than the second guy up on Florida Panthers. And with Barkov being in and out of the lineup, who I consider to be the best player on Florida Panthers when he's healthy, but him being in and out of the lineup, him missing chunks of games, him being injured, Jonathan Huberto is being the best player on the Florida Panthers, and he's taking his game to the next level. When you watch the Florida Panthers play, when you look at the stats of Florida Panthers, all their offensive points comes from Jonathan Huberto. Comes from Jonathan Huberto making plays for other players on the team. Comes from Jonathan Huberto scoring game-winning goals. Comes from Jonathan Huberto scoring goals. So Florida Panthers are having the success because of the play that's coming from Jonathan Huberto, who is the best player on their team. So he's influencing the team, he's putting up stats, and he deserves to be in the conversation of the National Hockey League MVP, and for me, he's in the second position for the award. But there's only one person, in my opinion, who deserves to win this award, who's playing the best hockey at the age of 36, who is making history every single time he steps on the ice. That's right, people. The Great Eight, the Russian machine, Alexandra Wetchkin, deserves to win the NHL MVP award of this season. Alexandra Wetchkin in 42 games is averaging roughly 29 goals and 29 assists, giving him a points total of 58 points. He's plus 18 on the season. On even strength, he's got roughly 21 goals and 44 points, and on the power play, he's averaging roughly 7 goals and 13 assists. To go along with all his stats, he's got 3 game-winning goals, and he's averaging roughly 1.38 points per game. Alexandra Wetchkin is playing the best hockey we have ever seen someone at the age of 36 play in the National Hockey League. After the age of 35, we have never seen a player in the National Hockey League be leading in stats when it comes to points, when it comes to goal scoring, when it comes to being top 5 in points per game. That's what Alexandra Wetchkin is doing. He's the top goal scorer in the National Hockey League. He's the top points getter in the National Hockey League, and he's top 5 when it comes to points per game average at the age of 36. Things we have never seen before. Not only that, but every single time Alexandra Wetchkin steps on the ice, he's making history. Because he keeps scoring goals, and every single time he scores a goal, he makes history. Because he passes someone on the goal-scoring record of the National Hockey League, and he gets closer and closer to the record that is set by Wayne Gretzky. He's playing for the Washington Capitals. Washington Capitals are not out of the playoffs. They're not struggling to making the playoffs. They're not an under 500 team. Washington Capitals are one of the best teams we have in the National Hockey League, and they have the top 5 odds to go and win the whole Stanley Cup. So it's not only is he leading the National Hockey League in points and goal scoring, but he's also leading the team, the Washington Capitals, in making the playoffs, in winning the Stanley Cup. And when you look at the Washington Capitals stats, Alexandra Wetchkin is averaging roughly 20 more points than the second guy up on the team. He's got 20 more points. But there is only one guy, in my opinion, who deserves to win this award, who's playing the best hockey we have ever seen him play at the age of 36, who's leading the NHL in goal scoring and points at the age of 36, something that we have never seen before in the National Hockey League, who every single time he steps on the ice is making history. That's right, people. The person who deserves to win this NHL MVP award of the 21-22 season is Alexandra Wetchkin, who in 42 games has got 29 goals, 29 assists, and has got a points total of 58 points. He's plus 18 on the season. He's averaging roughly 1.38 points per game average. On even strength, he's got 21 goals and 44 points, and on the power play, he's averaging roughly 7 goals and 13 points in total. And he's got 3 game-winning goals to go alongside the other stats. The reason Alexandra Wetchkin deserves to win this award is because he's playing the best hockey. Not only at the age of 36, he's playing the best hockey in the National Hockey League. He's leading the National Hockey League in goals and in points, something that we have never seen before someone do after the age of 35. We have never seen someone in the National Hockey League who's gotten older, who's on the other side of 30, who looks like a shell himself, lead the National Hockey League in goals and points. We have never seen this. So this is something we've seen for the first time in our history in this game that we love. Someone be leading when they're at such an old age. But not only that, not only is he leading the National Hockey League in goal scoring and points, he's on the Washington Capitals. He's the captain of Washington Capitals, and he's leading the Washington Capitals in points, and he has 20 more points than the second guy up on the team. Evgeny Kuznetsov has 20 less points than Alexandra Wetchkin, and Washington Capitals have one of the best odds to go and win the whole Stanley Cup. So not only is he leading in points and goal scoring, he's not only stats padding, as people like to say, he's not stat padding. His goals and his points are leading to his team winning. Washington Capitals are in a playoff position. They're not under 500. They're not fighting for a playoff position. They're already in a playoff position. And they're going to make it, and they have the best odds to go and win the whole thing. So he's leading the team by his leadership. He's leading the team in points. He's leading the National Hockey League in goal scoring and points. He's a Russian machine. Last year, he looked like a shell himself. He was in and out of the lineup because of COVID. He missed a lot of games. It looked like he didn't have the hunger. But this year, he's turned it around. It looks like he wants to chase that Wayne Gretzky's number when it comes to goal scoring. He clearly wants it, and he's pumped up for it, and he's fighting out there. He's leading his team. He deserves this award. And every single time he steps on the ice, he makes history. Every single game, you're like, he scored a goal. Now he's the highest power play goal scoring player we've ever had in the National Hockey League. So whenever he steps on the ice, he does something that's part of history of this game. So we have to appreciate him. And I think at the age of 36, he is the MVP of the National Hockey League. I love to hear from you guys. Drop down your list. Drop down your top 5 player list. And if I missed someone, tell me who I missed. I love to hear from you guys.